Hello everyone and welcome to Gierok Farms. In today's video we got some cleaning up to do here around the dairy farm. We got some manure to clean up, we got some hay to feed. The main thing on the agenda today is to take care of our heifers and our dry cows in our big barn and our heifers here in the small barn. We got to clean up some of this manure. Heat of summer, flies are getting bad, got to keep them clean. We are going to start off by cleaning the small side here in the calf barn, all these younger calves. We got 5 of them in here. We figured we'd start over here because we don't want to drag the skid steer through the manure in our big barn and then drag it into here. We figured this is a lot cleaner place to start, and if you're going to drag anything around, you'd rather drag bacteria from your younger calves into your bigger barns because those cattle already have immunities built up. So that's the plan. We're going to get some work done here on the farm. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get to work. See here,
2 handfuls of fly eggs there, and them things hatch out, and so that's why we want to get this cleaned up more often. He's got to work them guys between the skid steer and the gate there. Just a little bit shy about going where they're not so sure of themselves.
go on, babes.
There we go. Teenager.
One heck of a bucket load of manure, that's for sure. Pretty heaping full. But we wanted to do it all in one trip just for efficiency's sake, and then not to dirty up our manger anymore here in the middle of the barn. I will be coming back here to sort them back into their 2 halves and then bedding them up with some bales of straw. As of right now, I'm gonna go help him navigate through the barnyards here, open some gates, move some cattle. Looks like these girls can use some hay once we clean out their pen. Got another new calf out there nursing right now, which is great to see. River's out there looking for the cow cleanings, doing what dogs do. Plan is to lock them into here, being our calf pastures being used. That way he has some room to work in there with the skid steer. Nice little new spot for the heifers. Hang out for a while. Here's their bull. Hasn't gained a whole lot of height, but we'll see. Still got some time yet. So he is gonna focus on cleaning that up, and in the meantime, I am gonna go get some straw bales from the hay barn and our dairy barn thrown down, so then we can bed those up in our small side of our calf barn, that first pen we cleaned out. But before we go up there and do that, there's something I wanted to show you guys. So for those of you who have been following the channel now for some time, you know that we have a P.O. box. You may have heard me mention it at the end of videos or here and there throughout the channel. I wanted to share a letter that we received from one of you guys. We received a letter in the beginning of August from a young man named Braden, a couple hours south of here, and I wanted to share it because it brings me so much joy to see you guys caring enough to share your story with us. We love reading it. We love hearing about your background, especially within agriculture. We love hearing how you've been involved with your family's farm or neighboring farms, or your love for tractors or love for cattle or the land. We love hearing about your journey, your stories, your career, your lifestyle, anything that involves agriculture or farming. We love hearing those stories, both in the comments and letters like these. I believe it's 4 or 5 pages if I remember correctly, and he went into a lot of detail. So I just wanted to take some time here in a video and say thank you to every single one of you who have ever sent us a letter. Thank you to anyone who's ever sent us anything to the P.O. boxes. We really appreciate that. It doesn't go to waste. We love every single bit of it, and we especially love these letters. We love getting drawings from you guys or long letters like this. So thank you to Braden and anyone else who has ever sent us mail. And if you too wanted to send us mail, we have a P.O. box, and that is down in the description when it comes to getting the address and getting the details on that. But thank you very much. We'll get back to work here. I just wanted to share that before we got too deep into the video here. And would you just look at this beautiful white interior here on the barn? It just looks awesome. We got so much extra light in here now. If you guys haven't already, make sure to go check out our video where we painted in here. Reason I came in here, we got to get the straw above us right now. So I'm gonna set you guys down here. In the meantime, I'm gonna climb up there and throw down some straw. Spoiler alert, that didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. We're gonna try shoving a broom up there or something. It almost got to the bottom here and then caught the sidewalls. Oh, what a bummer. At least you guys got to see some chaff hit the ground. I threw the bales off the side of the hay loft, so the rest are up there. We'll have to grab them up there. Hopefully I can get this one out of the bottom here. And obviously up top it's full, so it's way out of reach up there. You guys almost got to crawl all the way down in there. And that does not sound like fun. So we're gonna try to drop it on our heads instead. There we are, crisis averted. This is that nice oat straw that we baled recently with our new baler. Turned out really, really nice. Not too much grass in it. It's gonna make some really nice fine bedding for all of our young stock. And we were kind of talking to some of the bales that got some more grass and green in it. We might try to feed that in the wintertime as kind of like a added fiber. Mix it in with our corn silage during the really cold months. Increase some digestibility and keep the cattle fuller longer. So now, since we have that straw thrown down, we will go over to the dry cow barn and help finish up in there, get them cattle back in, and then we'll come back, grab the straw with the skid steer, bed up the small side in there, then we can check that off the list. Got the hay thrown out. We'll go help get them straw bales in the bucket for Dad. Especially being he doesn't know there's some up on the top side of the barn yet. There's some up top because I plugged a hole. Dad's in the calf barn right now, bedding up that small pen. Just got the hay laid out. We'll have to go do that in the calf barn as well. But before I go do that, I wanted to let these heifers back in here. Looks like we got one of the dairy cows that made her way in here. Come on, girl. Come on. There we go, a nice new pen, girls. Get all these gates closed back up. Don't want any of the dairy cows just walking out to the main yard. Before I forget to ask, if any of you have any recommendations for fly control, if any of you have had any experience with that. We've used things like that fly spray and those fly ribbons and those fly traps. I know there's also treatment in some of the feeds, some of that pelletized feed the guys buy now that will prevent flies from nesting in it. So let us know what you guys have used on your farms or your yards or anything like that. We'd be interested to hear about it. So Dad just finished up in the barn here, in the small barn, and there's a comment he wanted to talk about with you guys before he forgets about it as well. Somebody was asking about the barn quilts and what the story is with those. I know I've had people ask me if there was if that was like an emblem that meant something to us. And
yeah. So what this is, and it's got to be 10 to 15, maybe 15 years. These are actually metal. You know, it's just a metal plate that some laser probably cuts. My wife has found this in some catalog way back, and different size squares, and there's a hole in each corner so you can fasten it. So this is a little larger than the ones on the barn. So every one of them squares are individual sheet of steel that had that pattern, and then you could get red or white or whatever else depending on, you know, what the backdrop is and how you want to decorate. So then you can make your own pattern. You know, so we got a larger one in the middle, and then we got those star-looking things along with whatever you want to call that all. But in the book, you could, you know, kind of toss them around a little bit and get a look going, and then you order up, you know, so many of this size and so many of that, and then put your own quilt together. So we could literally change it. And I got a feeling we could have probably, I'm going to guess, that we could probably get a place like that to do a custom, like, you know, like laser it out, and then you could.
big plasma cutter, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything's
So
possible.
there's a real large one on the granary, and it was kind of a thing where, you know, we had all these big ideas we're going to put on the front, and then we have already our high hillside logo up there, and then finding enough room for it. And then I said, hey, what about on the barn side? It's like, so now there's different openings in the side of the barn, you know, where we can throw hay out or even put an elevator through. So then that all interfered with where we could put this. The best part about it I love is, so that barn's been painted 3 times, in 98 and I think like maybe 05 and then maybe like 4 years ago or something. But anyway, so when it's painting time, there's 4 screws and they're just roofing screws. And you can back them screws out and put the screws back in the hole, so all those tins come down, and then you paint the barn with your sprayer, and then you can put them all back up in the same, you know, you just don't mix up your pattern, and everything seems to work out pretty good. So that's the story behind those. So it's no special meaning to this farm.
Yeah, I know some farms have like a family crest or emblem that means something to them that's on a barn quilt, but no, those are just decoration. Just something cool my mom thought about doing for the farm.
I've seen them wear two 4x8 sheets of plywood, so that would make a perfect square, and you know, they painted that all up neat on the ground and maybe put some framing in it and everything, and you know, you see a lot of that, and it really pops out.
If you guys have any cool barn quilts or emblems on your farm, share them with us in the comments, or you can send pictures to our Instagram or our Facebook through the DMs or the messenger. It'd be cool to see some of that stuff, especially for my mom's sake. She'd love to see some of that stuff. So that's answer to that question, one of them comments. And I was already telling him about that letter. Dad, he's just gonna get the chance to read it now. So thanks again to any of you who have sent us a letter like that. We really appreciate hearing them stories. Looks like we're gonna get some rain here now. And
earlier this morning, it was kind of like, it's almost like if you're gonna get some, it's gonna be a huge storm, or you may get nothing. But it's dry. We were doing some fencing earlier today and digging, and it was in the lowland in the bottom, and it was, you know, you think if it's gonna be wet, there's where, you know, or you're gonna find moisture, but it's still, we could use a pretty good soaker to get back. Yeah. So we're talking in a few days, so what are we now? We're approaching the middle of August.
Yeah, middle of August, and we'll be chopping 3rd crop here next week.
Yeah, so
probably.
that the next window of decent sun days, we're gonna, you know, so then I get my baler and my chopper switched and get the dual on that tractor on the outside, and yeah, get everything get all our ducks in a row, so that when it's go time, we have less things to look after, and we're gonna probably put in, I'm gonna guess 30 to 40. I gotta figure that out again, but all gonna be on this pad in here. You know, and then of course when the corn is ready, we take that tarp off and we put 6-8 loads of corn silage on top. I love that.
Sometimes it times out really good where we can do it all at the same time, but this year it's going to be spaced out. So.
It seemed like once we started getting rain, I noticed the 3rd crop just popped. I think we had our fertility in there. We had stuff manured from, you know, the 1st and 2nd crop, and then we did put some fertilizers on, but I don't think we got any punch out of them yet until that rain came. And they matured up so quickly. I don't know, Mother Nature's got a way of kind of making up for itself if it gets the chance. So I always thought if we didn't get any kind of rain this summer would have gave us a decent hay crop. I could just about imagine in the spring, first cutting in the spring would really kind of help you make up for some of what you didn't get this year.
So that's all update of the farm. A little running around doing some simple chores here in the afternoon. Nothing crazy, but thank you all for watching. Thank you for sticking to the end. Make sure if you haven't already to check out our other videos. But that's going to be it. We'll see you all next time.